on. So our concluding panel discussion, ladies and gentlemen, is on a theme that captures both the promise and the momentum of this region. That's right, South India is rising, and this is the new growth frontier of Indian real estate. So this next conversation is going to highlight how South India has truly emerged as a powerhouse of growth, innovation, and opportunity across residential, commercial, and mixed-use developments. So, to spearhead this conversation, if I could please invite back on stage Mr. Prashant Singh, editor with etnow.in and etnow.in Swadesh, who will moderate this next panel. And joining him in this high-impact discussion are Mr. Ampa Palainappan, Chairman and Managing Director of Ampa Group. Let's kindly have him on stage, Mr. Ampa. Mr. Nanda Kishore, who's the Managing Director of Ramki Estates and Farms Limited, or REFL. Mr. Dipta Kirti Chaudhary, Chief Marketing Officer of Casa Grande. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you amongst us. Kindly do join us on stage. And Mr. Ajitesh Koropolu, Founder and CEO of ASPL. Thank you so much. All right. We'll leave this first seat for the moderator, and the rest of you can, yes.
All set? Okay. Good evening, everyone, once again. So, in the next 20-30 minutes, we'll be discussing the new growth frontier of Indian real estate, South India rising. So, I want to start with a very basic question I asked earlier also, but that, by the government officials. From your perspective, industry perspective, what is South India has that nobody else has? Starting with you.
Thank you, Prashant. See, I think the culture in South India is unmatched. The ethnicity in South India is unmatched. So I think why is South India going to rise? I think we have already had panelists talk about Hyderabad, but now from South India, I think we'll talk of the 4 major metros and the other metros like Vijayawada, and I think there are a lot of towns in each, like if we talk of Trichy in Tamil Nadu, a lot of places which are going to rise. I think the property appreciation in all the tier, I won't call tier 2, maybe sub-tier 1 cities are going to be much higher than what it is we see. The infra boost in all these cities are very, very encouraging, with a lot of emphasis on the IT parks, the tidal parks in Tamil Nadu and things like that. There are a lot of opportunities which are coming up in various parts of the South India. So, but I think basically the Hyderabad or Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, the culture of business in all of these communities is, I think, going to take this real estate industry in the south definitely far better than where we will see other states coming in. So.
Yeah, if I were to talk more from a real estate perspective, I think you can see South India perhaps has the lowest amount of NPAs in the real estate. Okay, the discipline which the South Indian developers follow is extremely high. The real estate in South India is relatively affordable compared to the other parts of the country. I mean, particularly if I take Mumbai or NCR into account. And also, if you see in real estate, if you see, we were just talking of senior living. South India accounts for nearly 65 to 70% of senior living within the country. I think which talks of the fact that people have got more options in real estate in South India. And apart from all this, I think also we have to understand South India accounts for nearly, I would say, probably 35% of the resi sales, maybe 60% of the commercial assets in the country. Even within the REITs, if I were to see, the bulk of the assets under REIT are from South India. So I think from all these perspectives, I think South India has got a very strong contribution towards the real estate. Perhaps from a value perspective, you might have Mumbai and North India, creating a bias otherwise, but from a purely units or a square foot standpoint, I think that's why South India is doing much better. And I think the reasons are what he mentioned.
Yeah, lowest NPAs you said. So now moving on to you, what is Casa Grande's perspective on this?
I think pretty much what the panelists said is absolutely all of that is true. If I try to apply a consumer lens, I think thanks to a whole lot of factors, social, cultural, etc., the level of education and exposure, I mean, when you go right down to the basics, the level of education and exposure of all the 5 southern states is at a very matured level. So therefore, that consumer is able to demand a lot more. The companies are able to provide that much more. So it creates a very interesting balance of a high quality product finding a discerning customer. The customer, the South Indian customer, I feel is more focused on value. They want every aspect of their purchase, and this is not only real estate. This is true for any category, but it holds a lot of water in real estate. That the customer is looking for something slightly evolved, and therefore the companies having to evolve and having to put that additional elements together. And not only in the broad aspect of real estate, I mean, if I look at residential real estate, even in niches like, let's say, senior living, right? I think that South India has been able to make that transition of what the customer wants, that much is a little more evolved.
I think 3 things. The hard facts, I think we have a higher per capita citizens, right? South is mostly around $4,500, right? So, and as you look globally also, in many economies, once they cross $4,000 per capita to $10,000 per capita, the consumption of real estate is very high, right? So we have a bigger customer base in that. And next, we have higher per capita STEM educated candidates. So people doing engineering courses, particularly, I would say, computer science and electronics. So we have more number of graduates passing out, month on month from those things. And next, I think even in crime rates, we are relatively lower. So what is the advantage of that is the women participation in the labor workforce. So you are going to have a double income household. So if you have a double income household, so family can, achieve wealth, prosperity much relatively quicker. So I think these 3 things are what is attributing to, a good breeding ground for real estate in the South.
If I may add, there's one very interesting aspect is the channels of sales for the end customer. If you see in South India, the average percentage of end users who buy directly from the developer is way, way high than what you would see, say, in an NCR or a Mumbai, where, there you have one layer of channel partners who are driving the sales. And I would just like to narrate one incident where I was in 2014, one of the developer who entered NCR, he tried to launch a project without any channel partner. And I'm told after 3 months, he had to bend down, again get all the channel partners in his fold, and then relaunch the project. So such is the control they hold. So the buyers rarely get access to the developer directly and buy. So that I think is a huge change between the South and the other states.
So we have achieved a lot in terms of when we talk about South India, it has become a powerhouse of real estate. But do you think, is there any address area which still needs to be taken care of? Whatever your company's experiences or your experiences, I want to understand different perspective. Any address area that is still,
See, I think I will talk for Chennai. See, Chennai is one of the most old, mature markets in the country. Right? And real estate, having the Taj Coromandel Hotel, one of the very old five-star hotels in the country. So I think Chennai has led in a lot of areas. Like, for example, we are doing the first Taj residences in Chennai. Right? It's a branded residence of Taj. It's the first time Taj is entering the market. So I think that when we innovate the market, I think we have that edge over the entire thing. See, I think what we, I think it's very common that infrastructure, all of that is required for any city to grow. So I think that innovation in new products, like we talked of senior living as a developing product. See, branded residences is a product which we have. There are only 2 finished projects in the country, in Bangalore, okay, and ours is the first one with Taj. So I think the innovation of new concepts in real estate. I think now what we have done is we have created a micro market in 300 meters. We have our own residences. We have a 253-room hotel. We have 3 office towers, which is coming up. We have a mall which is there. We have already built the Ampasisha school, and we have the MGM hospital which is opposite this. So I think when you talk of the senior living community or any community, I think within 300 meters you get a variety of requirement space covered in that entire thing. So you create a concept where you don't have to move much travel. You don't have to worry about traffic unless it's actually required to meet people, right? So I think the innovation is going to be a major differentiator as we go.
what is your learnings in terms of address areas?
I think one area where the entire, all the cities in South India should look to, evolve or develop more is large integrated townships to really bring the concept of walk to work to life, because it's been more of a paper kind of a concept which hasn't really got implemented in a big way. I think that is one area where I think land rates, though they are zooming in all the cities, but I would still say there is a possibility because of the better infrastructure that these cities in the south have. I think there is a possibility of developing large integrated townships, and also because of these cities of South India, with their ability to attract IT companies. I think that is one area where I would definitely love to see South India develop more and more large integrated townships. That's one area I would say.
So he spoke about integrated townships. So is there anything special that needs to be, kept in mind while right from the start, from the planning? I mean, what is the planning that Casa Grande keeps in mind? Your company's perspective when it comes to integrated townships.
See, like it was mentioned that the cost of very fast development is also a drain on the infrastructure or the tightening of the things. So therefore, integrated townships make logical sense. But it is obviously from a consumer point of view, it is not that the homeowner is going to spend their entire life. So the integrated township has to be it cannot only be the physicality of it, that there is a, hospitality and retail and commercial and residential. That's the easy part. But one needs to look at the evolving, evolving lifestyles of the people. So therefore, what do people want? From not only from a physical convenience point of view, but also mental peace of mind, etc. So therefore, the various aspects of the township, which goes beyond the physical, to actually understand the lifestyle of the customer, let's say it becoming environmentally positive, or it having a overall positive aspect of the environment. When you create a large integrated township, there is obviously an immediate impact on the ecology of the thing. So how do you negate that, or make that up in the short to medium term? That would be important. Because the customers here in South India are extremely discerning, they are also more evolved. I think they are putting a large premium on this. So therefore, fitting into that lifestyle, the township fitting into the lifestyle, getting into the details of the customer, how they are evolving, what their lives are, what their digital lives are, what their professional lives are, what their personal lives are. And the township fitting into all aspects of it, I think that's what we feel will differentiate, and that's what we as a real estate developer are investing a lot into, to creating these small nuances about the product which fit in perfectly with the customer's life.
So does the preference changes when it comes to millennials and Gen Z as compared to...
Oh, yes. Oh, of course, yes. See, what is happening, what the numbers indicate is that the age group is slowly moving down, right, of the home owning age group. So if you take a generation back to now, there is a significant... But also what is expected of what the customer expects from the home is also there. So one of the anecdotally one I see that when customers come to see our properties, they check out if, let's say, all the quick commerce delivery partners or the food delivery partners are, if that area is serviced by them. Now this is something that never happened, let's say, even 2-3 years back. But now it's an important part of the customer's lifestyle. That earlier, let's say 10 years back, a customer used to check for mobile connectivity. That when you bought a home in a slightly away place, did you get mobile signal? Now they are checking that if food and
online
deliveries will happen on time and on whether PIN code is covered. So this is a very small nuance, but there are many things. Is the home Instagram worthy? That's also a thing. And I'm not meaning this in a negative sense. I think it's an important aspect that we as real estate developers have to take cognizance of and deliver to the customer.
So Jitesh, in the recent session, we spoke about gated communities also. So you spoke that it's a dependable, kind of decision. Once you said it's a dependable kind of decision. For example, if you have marriage, you have life, you have kids, everyone, then you look for stability also. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to Gen Z and millennial buyers, what are your experiences so far?
See, I think right from the customer discovery itself, the process is very different. If you look for much like buyers of maybe 40 plus, the way they are sort of discovering the brand or the entire process of buying a home is very different, which is more OOH driven. Now with millennials, we are seeing more like, digital, like particularly, different format of brand content like podcasts and on doing better. And as we are looking with Gen Z's, things will even change. See, typically what's happening is now it's almost clear that 99% of real estate sales discovery has moved online, right? Now with AI coming in and all of these LLMs coming in, and your typical search format is also breaking down. Like people go and do a Google search, Google put the top 3 as sponsored ads, you pay for the money, you're going to be seen there, right? But now that architecture itself is failing. People are no longer going, the searches typically on Google is coming down. And even if it is, it's going to the Google Gemini AI, which is giving you answers right up there. I think this is going to be more of the thing for Gen Zs. Now, by the time Gen Zs are not yet mainstream buyers in the market, I think that's going to happen in maybe another 4 or 5 years, closer to 2030. By the time they start hitting the market, this idea also wouldn't be working. We'll have to look at newer ideas. So I think every 5 to 7 years going forward, that timeline also will be crunched. We'll have to look at newer ways of presenting our product, and and that will be a constant innovation which every company has to do.
So my next question is that in future, what will be the growth driver? Affordable segment or luxury segment or something new will come up?
Always it's the pyramid which works, right? The bottom of the pyramid, the top of the pyramid. The top of the pyramid is going to be luxury, going to be that very niche segment which you can cater to. The bottom of the pyramid is going to be the mass segment. So I think that's never going to change. I think that's always going to be the same. But if you look at the customers you're dealing with, each segment is going to be different. Like we are dealing with, I think, the owners of companies, owners of businesses who are your customers. So that's a very personal segment which you can cater to. But that's not many people can be in that segment because it is expensive to be in that segment, and the product also is that much more expensive, right? For example, our product today, the Skyview, Taj Skyview, is, I think, I will be very humble to say that that's one of the most coveted real estate project in the south of India, right? I think people will see more of it as we go, and we have I think very comfortably sold over 65% in the 1.5 years of what has been done. And we are another 2.5 years to completion. It's going to complete in 2027. So I think that niche segment is where we are in. I think, but I think the bulk is going to come from the mid segment, is what I think as we go.
I have seen many realtors in Noida, Greater Noida region. They are writing it as affordable luxury. So there's something, that's a midway they are trying to find out. So as to increase.
No, I think the affordable luxury is something there, but this is lifestyle luxury. I think the lifestyle luxury is, I think, there to stay, and we will hear more of it as we go.
You want to add?
I think, see, the way urbanization is happening, and see, in any city, 70% of the land is occupied by residential. Okay, and the way we are growing, both as in terms of population. I think by 2050 we are going to be like 1.8 billion or 1.7 billion. Even that makes it like 30 lakh more people. Okay, now that even if we take two people for one residential unit, we are talking of an incremental, 1.5 billion square feet to be built. Okay, now with this kind of growth and whatever our per capita income, like what he was mentioning, $4,000 today, it is likely to become somewhere around $20,000 in 20 years from now. Now just imagine the amount of affordability that comes, the amount of demand that is going to come. So real estate is going to explode for sure. Now the question is, while you will have a lot of niche segments growing along with this, you will have different kinds of specialty housing, if I may say so, will keep growing along with this. But the bulk will lie around what he mentioned in that segment of, that if I were to talk in today's terms, it would be like the 45, 50 lakh to 60 lakh to maybe a crore and a half, 1.5 crore range. That is going to remain the mainstream from a real estate perspective, if I were to talk from a residential perspective. But one area where I would definitely see more focus happening would be the senior living. Like definitely that's going to be a lot more demand there. But one particular thing there I would love to see for sure, and people who are working in that field, is how can we blend sustainability with senior living, because I feel that there's a lot more opportunity to work around in that area. So that's definitely one of the interesting pieces that we can see.
Casa Grande's perspective.
Yeah, I think there will be more and more sub-segments, the way we see it. And these sub-segment are not only from a physicality of a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 3.5 villa, floor villa. It is going to go beyond that. There are going to be innovative financing options. There are many ways of financing a home that are currently, which are very prevalent in the West, which are not there or are very niche in India. It will happen like that. So the millennial and eventually Gen Z, when they come into the market, they will approach the home ownership in a much different way from what the previous generations have done. There is a constant shrinking of family size, so therefore the disposable income will increase, but at the same time, what they want to do with the disposable income will also radically change. There is a group of people who think home ownership is not important, but they would also agree to the fact that when you are of a certain age and beyond, you need to have a permanent shelter, and you cannot just say that, very logically, very mathematically, maybe rental is better than owning.
Yeah.
But it is not always. There is always like a element of ownership, an element of peace of mind, etc. So I see that apart from the physicality aspect of it, what we see is that there is also a lot of mindset change, financing change, the expectations from the home, the emotional expectations, so be it sustainability, be it convenience, all those things will radically change and that's how we are seeing the home ownership journey as.
Ajitesh, you want to add more weight to what they spoke about?
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, premium segment will do relatively better. Let's say affordable is anything below 80 lakhs or crore, and premium is something like 1 to 2.5, and luxury is, let's say, 3 above. I think premium will do relatively better than the other two. The reason being affordable, I think there's a good amount of challenge from a balance sheet standpoint. The bottom line's you don't have much bottom line because of the increased land costs. And second, automation also will play a role, where I think jobs will become, I would say, a little more volatile in the affordable segment markets. In the premium segment, jobs are going to be very, very strong, and with increase in automation, all of these things, high skilled jobs will be more in need. And these people will be purchasing premium real estate. Again, luxury segment, I think, would be more self-employed category, or business folks will be buying that. That's more cyclical to the economy. So I think premium will do relatively much better.
Okay, now one final question. All of you have seen industry from various lenses. Now one city, you must have seen also that one city which is emerging, it was nowhere 5 years before, but now it has emerged like anything. So any city which, in your view, which has potential, which is lying untapped still, one city.
You should start from that side for a change. Anyway, I'll just go ahead. Right. As I already told Trichy, it's the center of Tamil Nadu, right? So I think a lot of growth is expected in Trichy. I think at this point of time, I've got 3 hotel offers to build 3 hotel properties in Trichy itself. Right? I've got offers. So I think a lot of development is being expected in Trichy, and I think last year itself, the real estate has gone up by close to 50%. I think one city we can expect in Tamil Nadu, at least, that's where I am currently working, will be Trichy.
What's your view? One city which has tremendous potential but is still lying untapped, which will emerge as a big city, one of the biggest cities in the future.
I think for all the history and all the, I would say, industry and all the infrastructure and other things I think Chennai has grossly underperformed on the real estate. So to me, I feel Chennai is the one which should really shine bright going forward.
Chennai has 2 points now.
I was thinking on the same line that for the reasons, all the reasons that were mentioned as a part of the first question, I think the top 3 cities of South India, which is Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai themselves, you may say that Bangalore is so crowded, prices are going up, etc. I would still say that Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai are still need that much.
No, Chennai is more pricier than Bangalore and Hyderabad, definitely, right? See,
As a combination, so those three cities still have a lot of development potential. And now if you take the minus ones of it, of each state, which could be a Vijayawada, Vizag in the AP, Telangana area, or a Coimbatore, or a Coimbatore or a Mysore, all of, I mean, so I see massive, massive potential in all. So it's very difficult to say one city. I mean, we are kind of betting on all of them.
Okay, all right. Your opinion?
I think my opinion might be slightly biased, but it would be Hyderabad only. I think 2-3 reasons, if I may cite for that. One, as I've told earlier, the per capita STEM candidates, students who are doing hardcore engineering.
For you, Hyderabad is not in the option. You have to choose other than Hyderabad. Otherwise, you keep choosing Hyderabad.
But again,
We know Hyderabad. We all love Hyderabad.
Factually, if you look at the data points, it supports that,
Yeah.
right? Speaking purely factually, leaving aside my biases. So, and I think relatively our expenditure on civic infrastructure for the last 20 years has been more than any of these states, predominantly on roadways and water pipelines and these sort of infrastructure, which become the bedrock. And second, engineering students are high, so availability of high skilled talent is also there. Cost of living, very, 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 very important. In various surveys have time and again said, cost of living Hyderabad is 30 to 40% lower than Bangalore or most of the other cities. And next, I think one very, very important thing also, Hyderabad has high FSI. Many people call it unlimited FSI also, but technically unlimited FSI is only if you're on 100 feet roads, not you're on any other road. Frankly, these roads can take in that sort of density. So because we have that, the sort of housing costs are going to be low. And in fact, I think if I'm not wrong, just 2-3 days back, Noida has also, UP government has also announced that in Noida region, they'll be allowing unlimited FSI. I think that is the way forward to grow. Because you see in most cities like Bombay and all, 50% of the price what people are paying just goes to government. So essentially people are not going to have good quality of life because it costs more and house is also smaller. So all of these things put together, Hyderabad is at a super position, again, factually speaking, keeping apart my biases.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone
Thank
for
you.
the amazing insights, but time is running out. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Pooja Sethi, if I could have you please do the honors and felicitate each one of our panelists with a token of our appreciation. We realize we're a little bit behind schedule, but we're quickly coming towards the conclusion of the evening. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and thank you, Pooja Sethi, for doing the honors, and we'll now move on. And we're moving on to our spotlight session.